Hello, all my friends. Greetings. This is Gillesmansillon. Spirit is announcing me all those good news. I'm waiting for it to be come down to the physical plane. For ascension will happen. It's happening. It's been going on, but it will happen regardless of the outcome of the American election. No matter what happens there, there's gonna be some people that are gonna be disappointed that their candidate did not win. But the forces of the darkness, their dark plans, is in full swings, and they're trying to prevent us from getting to get ready for what is to come. For the galactics are going to be arriving, but if people are in fear, they're not ready, and so they're really trying to do all they can to slow down the process through manipulation and deception. So we need to use discerning. For the galactic families are about to intervene. They've been asked to by the company of heaven, by the Creator, because we are not fully able to complete the transition, the ascension by ourselves. I recommend you listen to channeled messages from galactics, from ascended masters, from archangels, from celestials. Always use discerning, but those are real information. For the divine plan is forcing the change all over the world. And it's like we didn't ask for an easy transition. We asked for a quick transition. So that's why there is so much that is going on. For divine justice will be returned. We're going to be able to see what we're going to be introduced to new values, and there will be a great need for education to say why this is acceptable, why this is not acceptable, for the right and wrong in the mind of people that are completely unrelated to the truth of God and the cosmic good. And so some people, so we'll have to use education. For personally, I hope I will be completing quickly my healing and to recreate a safety zone for myself. Spirit is talking about romance coming into my life, and that I need to paint. But for now, it's very. I'm really looking forward to be moved on to the next phase. I want to say that God is a parent. First of all, God is personally I call God my father. But if you in Islam is the one. There are many forms of deity that you can call on. But in any event, God is whether you call him a parent or a creator, he has created us, and so it is important to understand that as a parent, you have to let your children to express themselves, to discover what life is about. So God let all his children here on the earth to do anything they wanted. But there coming a point of time now that God's going to say that enough is enough. You've done enough. At some point, as a good parent, you have to bring your children back into the reality of their responsibility. And so this is really what is going on. We're gonna need to get out of the sandbox of evolution. And so because God will say no more for certain things. For we right now we're looking for individualized solution, but it is the problems of the world will only be solved by common solution. And but for now they're trying to separate us. They don't want us to come together to find those solutions. For the dark propaganda machine. Will do all it can to keep people apart, but they will come together, and very soon all will be accessible to all. There's going to be new technologies to all countries, cultures, towns, everybody. Whenever there is something of value, it will be distributed all around the world, so everybody will have access to that. This virus that they created is not a natural virus. We'll come to realize that later. But it's been transmuted by nature. It will end soon. It's not the first time the pharmaceutical are playing with viruses. They've been doing that throughout the 20th century as well. But Metatron, the great archangel, revealed that they need to let this happen, because it comes from the Elohims that fall into the illusion of separation, and they wanted to play with sickness and disease. And so but Metatron was saying they need to let this expand to the most expansion possible, and then they will be face to face with all of what they've created, all the swines, all the misery they've created. They're going to be able to harvest that, but first so they're allowing that to happen. And so we need to create a state of peace. So for now, just trust your your light and your love to protect you. There is really viruses and microbes have been going on forever. If you turn off the TV, you don't listen to the TV, you're not in danger. The danger comes from being fed all those monstrous ideas of violence, disease that will kill you and your danger to everybody else and so on. But yet if there is a flu going on, you don't necessarily want to catch it. And so that is really the essence of this new virus. That's the COVID.2 that is coming around now. And so we need to attain a state of peace before we can move into the ascension. The same thing for the planet. That's why the galactic will intervene. Those messages have been expressed briefly by the Arcturians, and also I'm just sort of reiterate some of the message of the beloved Master El Moria, who was communicating some of those ideas as well. We thank him and greet him. And so we wanted to say that we need to create this state of peace, both for ourselves, but even for the planet. To achieve that ascension, we cannot ascend while we're completely agitated with all kinds of things. So it's about also letting go of the things that are non-essential, which is not easy. We're buying all kinds of things that are non-essential. We can look at the medias and TVs. They want us to buy all kinds of things we do not need. So just be discriminating in relationship to what you consume in some sense. And one step at a time, of course. And very soon we're going to realize that the most important people in society are agricultures, are the growers, the farmers, because we're not going to eat televisions or iPhones or cell phones. We're not going to be able to sustain ourselves with that. Yet if those people stop working, there's going to be... we're going to have some cultural shock and some natural shock that are going to be awakening humanity. What we want is to find the safety zone where we'll be able to assist from a point of safety, because we've been through this dark night of the soul before everybody else. And so understanding also emotions are far more important than thoughts or words. Because you can say loving words, but if inside you have all this anger or this hatred or this fear, the words have very little meaning. But then if you have a lot of love, no matter what you say will come out as love. So it's about working on our emotion. There was a philosopher named Ulm, in 18th century English philosopher, who thought that emotional intelligence was more important than intellectual intelligence. And the essence is just to be love and light, and this is really the greatest energy in the universe. So Spirit says I'm going to be leaving very soon, so I don't really know. So I might be living alone. For I've been waiting to meet somebody here, but if I leave alone and I still need to meet her, I may have to return here in a different situation, which will no longer be uncomfortable. I'm going to pull a few cards and discuss a few more ideas. Put 10 cards with those. My card of the day came out. So the situation is the equitable beings, the being that is the card of balance, to be equitable, to be fair. It's about fairness. It's about being balanced. Everything is always in a state of adjustment and balance in this matrix. What comes around the situation is the observer. It's the ability to look at all things from a neutral perspective. It's important to be able to be neutral in this process. What we see before us is faithful heart, for we want to be true to ourselves, to the contract we've made with other souls, to be faithful as much as possible, to be true. In our distant past, in our subconscious, is the never-ending story. It's a drama that is going on, but it is in the past. So let's leave the dramas in the past. And now the situation is into the sea. We're asked to jump into the sea, to return to the source, to let ourselves be carried by the flow. What comes in the near future is the higher power, is the understanding we're working with a higher power. We are one with this higher power, and we're working with this higher power, and this higher power has so much power, but yet it needs our cooperation to function. Our strength within the situation is my card of the day for today. I pulled a card this morning, and it was milk and honey. So it's about the good things of life. It's about testing the good things of life. What comes to us from the outside world is the treasure island. So there's going to be a treasure. We're going to discover treasures, which is resources in many sense, not just etheric, but material treasures. And this comes to us from the outside world. So it is For me, I see it as the resolution of certain of my projects. I hope it is now, today, it would be good. Then in I Know My Emotion, I hope and fear is the orphan. It's about not having found this place in the world. Understanding that when we get closer to God, we have to leave all the illusions of 3D as we move into the fifth dimension, the space of pure connection with our own divinity. There is a mourning time, a mourning process of all those things from the past. But what we seek is to, I'm going to put another card on top of it, is the time of departure. So we're going to be leaving very soon. The feeling, we're going to be able to move forward and to let go of the past and move on. And the outcome is a step ahead. It's about being, because we've already been prepared. We won't be as surprised as most people. It's also being prepared to receive all that we need in our life in terms of people, for resources, complementing. Everything can come together as magic and miracle. Now we've evacuated some of those shadows that we needed to evacuate. I wanted to talk briefly about the phenomenon of death. For death, to me, death does not exist. It is unreal. It is just a transition point, and we move into another level of life afterwards. But it's been revealed that all those who have died from this virus are not sent to the astral plane to transmute like they would in normal circumstances. They're taken to heaven, and they're all there waiting for the project the path of ascension to unfold. But they're all taken care of. We'll see everybody back very soon. And do not worry about this. For the rendezvous is already taken. There is nothing you can avoid it. There is no way to avoid that rendezvous or to accelerate. Or we all die at the exact minute that we had planned to die. Until then, it's very difficult to die, or it's very difficult to live beyond that. And so understand there are 55 million people that die every year, that are received in heaven. For God is all, and there is no separation between God. It is these dark entities that have created the separation between negative and positive in order to fight that drama, that battle between them. And the light forces have been battling those dark forces to eliminate, to clear up some of the past in the astral plane. A lot of it has been, Uriel has already cleaned a lot of it, and a lot of Michael as well. The archangels are doing a lot of this work, but there is it's part of it's not a process that just like we click in the hands and poof, everything is gone. It's a slow process. It's like it's day after day. Like we have to fight our own shadows, but our own shadows may be attacked by outside shadows. So we have to be discriminating and utilize forgiveness. For there's a constant. It's a constant balancing act here. In this battle between dark and light. And so I want to say also that the money god, the golden veil, for now it is all that is. Money is all that is to most people, but it will diminish with time. We're going to discover new value, the quality of life, communities, families. A lot of things are going to return into life. I think it was El Moria was saying there may be 1% of the Occidental population that may die from this virus, but there may be 15% of the population in Africa that may die from starvation, which is a lot worse. So we're going to have to address the United Nations, to try to find a common sense plan to eliminate poverty, to stop massive environmental destruction, and so on. This is a work that's been already. And it's been going on. There's been some secret societies and all kinds of individuals and groups that are working towards that. For it is not about looking for people that are guilty of the problem, and let go of that. Just find the solution. Let go of the people. For they will see their creation in time. Trust God with that, and you don't have to point fingers or anything. It is not necessary. It's better than to act with fear than to not act at all. No matter what happens, if you feel you need to do, you cannot afford to stay in place. So we're going to need to move forwards, and courage is the cardinal virtue. And so even if you're afraid of something, it's better to do it no matter what. And as long as it is, you act with vision, you act with integrity, you act with pose, you follow your heart. So So this is about what I wanted to come and say today. So I hope those days will bring. For there is in France there is this great thing going on. I see on TV. They're like they're going with this like virus thing. But soon there's going to be certain events that are going to be coming that are going to wash all of that away, because it's going to be far more important. People are going to be able to decipher. We don't know what it is, but we know it is coming. When I ask Spirit, say, "Oh, we shall see." So we shall see. I'm going to sing a song. It's a French song. It says "Under the Sun." Exactly under the sun. It's about being under the sun. It's one by Serge Gainsbourg. It goes like this. Un point précis sous le tropique du Capricorne ou du Cancer. Depuis j'ai oublié lequel, sous le soleil exactement. Pas à côté, pas n'importe où, sous le soleil, exactement, juste en dessous. Dans quel pays, dans quel district? C'était au bord de la mer. Depuis j'ai oublié laquelle, sous le soleil exactement. Pas à côté, pas n'importe où, sous le soleil, exactement, juste en dessous. Était-ce le Nouveau-Mexique, vers le Cap Horn, vers le Cap-Vert? Était-ce sur un archipel, sous le soleil exactement? Pas à côté, pas n'importe où, sous le soleil, exactement, juste en dessous. C'est sûrement un rêve érotique que je me fais les yeux ouverts. Et pourtant si c'était réel, sous le soleil exactement, pas à côté, pas n'importe où, sous le soleil, exactement, juste en dessous. It's kind of a funny song. It was about being under the sun. I forgot where he was. He says he was near the sea, but I didn't remember which one. And then he says maybe in New Mexico, maybe in the Cap Horn or the Green Cap. But it's not in New Mexico. I lived 2 years in Santa Fe, 1 year in Taos. There is no ocean in New Mexico. I don't know why he used that, but anyway. So it was a funny song. I was jogging today, and I didn't know. I figured it's the song that came into my head. So it's about being under the sun, exactly under the sun, so we can ignite our inner sun as much as possible. And I'm going to pull a few cards. The highest wisdom for us today is the Lady of Ariel, mature, practical spirit, generous and happy. Take care of yourself and those you love. Capacity to make everything more beautiful. Wise and practical advice. So she's representing the highest wisdom. What we need to understand is the fifth of Ariel. She's like out in the cold. So you are not obligated to overcome all the challenges by yourself. Help is on the way, or is at hand reach. Negative thoughts do not make things go in the right direction. So it's about really staying positive and not to allow our negative thoughts to dominate us. Well, another 5. What we need to do is the 5 of Raphael. Each thing has its reason for being. Leave regret on the side and focus on the chance to access to the happiness that is before you. Looking for to be reconforted. And the outcome will be the great card, the 3 of Raphael. It is the card of celebration and intimacy. It says, you have so many reasons to celebrate. Community of friends. Good news in relationship to a relationship or to children. So it's quite wonderful. And so I thank you very much. I wanted to say that there is a lady that sent me some money on PayPal. I will try to contact you. I don't really know how. You need to confirm that it's okay. Otherwise, the money, this donation will stay on hold. It's from Australia. Thank you very much. And the name of your company was Chiron Healthcare. So Chiron is very close to my heart. For it is the planet Chiron is the wounded healer. Was very much in conjunction with my son when I was born, and my master guide resides on Chiron. It's a very powerful planet of healing. I'm going to try to get in touch. I thank you very much, by the way, for all your donation, your support, your sharing, everything. Soon right now I'm in the receiving end, but very soon I'm going to be in a giving on the other side of the veil. I'm looking forward to that. I'm still not completely out of the wood, but I know it can come at any time, and so I'm very happy. I'm very grateful for that which is to come, and I thank you very much for continuing to work with us, the collective brotherhood. For we are one. We are this great brotherhood of intelligence in the universe, and we've decided to incarnate in many different forms here to remind humanity of its unity, of the love of our source, and to stay focused on that, regardless of the distraction that may be broadcasted in this world. I thank you very much. Namaste.